have a hair on my chin. It really isn't growing out of my chin, by the way. I don't know what that's from. Where has that come from? It's like a cat hair, but I no longer have a cat. Very strange. Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf. Today, another sneaky little video on a Thursday, which really isn't sneaky anymore because it seems to be every single week. So here we go, an expected extra Thursday video of all of my favourite products. These are my absolute favourite items to put on my face on a daily basis, or maybe when I'm having a bit of a treat and going out somewhere, which is not happening very often at the moment. So let's get straight on with it. If you are new here, hi, my name is Gemma. I'm a qualified esthetician and lover of everything makeup. I don't practice in a salon or in a clinic anymore, as my full-time job is now YouTube. And now that is out of the way, please make sure you have liked, you have subscribed, and you've hit on that notification bell so you don't miss any of these sneaky yet expected Thursday videos. I upload on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, usually at 8 p.m. London time, and I am also on Instagram if you want to follow me on there. It's at Pampered Wolf, all lowercase, no spaces. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting some eyeshadow primer on my lids, and the one that I've chosen to use today is the P. Louise base. I've been using this now for over a year and it has never let me down. So I'm just going to pop a little dot of that on each lid. So I don't know if you'll have noticed, but my eyelashes are far more noticeable than they usually are at this point in the video, and that's because I did an eyelash lift and a tint the other day. So my eyelashes really look like I don't need to do anything with them. I did slightly overlift them. Will say that. So I have been relaxing them slightly over the last few days because they looked ridiculous the day after I did them. Oh dear. It wasn't good. Anyway, moving on to eyeshadow, it has been difficult to pick my favourite, and the palette that I've picked is by NATASHA DENONA. Her shadows are absolutely divine. Divine. Say it again because I believe it 3 times. Divine. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to go straight in to this palest transition shade here. I love this because she always has a transition shade in her palettes, and you can use every single colour in this palette in the same look. Loving it. We have only recently got these palettes on Cult Beauty. I will link everything for you in the description box. Those links will be affiliate links, which means that if you do click on them and decide to go shopping, I will earn a small amount of commission, which I can then reinvest into my channel. Thank you for everybody who's done that in the past or is thinking about doing that in the future. There is never any pressure on this end. You get your products from wherever you want to get them. But at the moment, I am putting 2 different links for each product. The first link will be for either Sephora or Ulta if I can find one, and the second link will be one that you can get in the UK or worldwide if you don't have a Sephora or an Ulta in the country where you live. So make sure you click on the link that you actually want, and it'll take you to wherever you want to go. Unfortunately, it cannot take you to Mauritius, where I would really love to be right now. These shadows are superb. They are buttery. They are pigmented, but not overly pigmented that it's actually scary. They are extremely easily blendable. Really, really easy to blend and lay down on the lid. When I was younger, I used to have an absolutely beautiful olive shimmery colour, and I have been trying to find something similar since, because it was a MAC shade and I think they discontinued it and I was absolutely gutted. This is why this popped out to me so quickly, because it has this beautiful green, and I thought I was going to be disappointed when it arrived because they never look the same when you actually receive them than they do in the picture. This one does. Everything looks identical to the way that it did in the picture. So I'm just going to take some of that olive green, which is just to die for, and lay it on that outer edge a little bit further in than the transition shade that we've just laid down. Just like that. And just blend that in. I hope everybody is doing well at the moment. Just a bit of an update on my mum, because you've all been asking about my mum and it's ever so kind of you. I speak to her every single day around about 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock. We always speak to each other and it's just a part of the day that I really, really look forward to. She is absolutely fine. Thank you ever so much, everybody that's asked about her and said that you miss her. You don't miss her as much as I do. Honestly, it makes me well up every time I think about it. I've not seen my mum now for 9 weeks. And considering how close we are and that we see each other a lot, that's a long, long time. Anyway, she is absolutely fine. We FaceTime each other every single day. Obviously, just like everybody, she has good and bad days. So she does get really bored. She does miss everybody. She misses doing this with me as well. But it's all for the greater good. We are definitely not complaining. There are people who are really, really poorly, and there are people who are on the front line and just making the world keep ticking over and putting their own lives at risk just to make sure that everyone can carry on. So we are fine. We are doing absolutely fine, and we're definitely not complaining. Just like everybody else, everybody has good and bad days every now and again. I'm actually going to take a smaller brush and take a little bit more of the green and place it right in this inner corner bit there. Just a tiny weeny bit, and then blend that up in the crease. And I'll do that even better with a fluffier brush. I really, really love this colour. I just think it is absolutely beautiful. And now to bring everything together, we are going to use the middle shade in this palette, which is the most stunning gilded gold shade. Oh, just absolutely beautiful. And I'm actually going to apply this with my finger and just pad that in the center of the lid. Look at that. Wow. So beautiful, so gorgeous, absolutely lovely. So once I've finished the eye look, I'm just going to take my Morphe E23 fluffy brush and just work around the outsides to make sure everything is beautifully blended and there are no harsh lines. Then we are going to move on to foundation, and that has been super, super difficult to figure out which foundation is actually my favourite, because I don't have an ultimate favourite one. The one that I always go back to, even though I'm constantly trying out new things and using different products, the one that I swear by is the Forever Skin Glow by DIOR. This one is an absolute favourite of mine. I think it looks really flattering on my skin. It's the perfect amount of radiance as well as dewiness. I'm in love with this. I have this in my winter shade, which is 0N, and this is my summer shade, which is 1.5N. I really love this foundation because you can get really quite sheer coverage with this, but you can also build this up to a fuller coverage if you need a little bit more. And I just think it looks so, so flattering. The one thing I really don't like about this foundation, apart from the fact that it does oxidize quite a lot, is the fact that this is scented. It's DIOR. All DIOR products are scented, and I really wish that it wasn't, but it is, and that isn't going to change. Look how beautiful that finish is. Absolutely stunning, really, really gorgeous. Just love it, absolutely love it. While I'm waiting for that to dry down a little bit, I'm going to move on to my eyeliner, because I just think this eye look needs a slight bit of liner. Not going to go for anything harsh. I'm going to go for a brown liner, and this is the same one that I used in last week's video actually. It's the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner in the shade brown. And I'm going to do exactly the same as I did last week and just draw on the last third of my eye. Just a very small line. This is so much more difficult with curled eyelashes. Really is. You have to sort of dodge the lashes and get behind them. I don't think I thought this through. Okay, let's move on to eyebrows. I've done my eyebrows so many times on this channel, and because I'm using my favourite, you've seen me use this so many times, so I'm going to do this off camera just to make this video a little bit shorter because it seems like it's going to last forever, and I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, so eyebrows on, moving on to concealer, and as tomorrow's video will show you, I have lots of favourite concealers. Different purposes, if I'm having a really low makeup day, if I'm having something very light coverage, to if I'm going for a full face of makeup like today, where I would probably just go for something much more full coverage. And that's exactly what I'm doing today. The product that I always go back to time and time again is the MAC Prolongwear Concealer, and this one is in the shade NC15. Just going to pop a bit of that on the back of my hand. Then I'm going to grab a concealer brush. I'm going to put a little dot here and also on the outer corner where I get a lot of discoloration. And then just start to blend that as I want it. And then when I've got it in the area that I want it, I'm just going to take a damp blending sponge and blend that in place. Then I'm going to go back in with a little bit more product once that's dried down. If you want a full video on my concealer routine, I'll be really happy to do that. I've also got a best colour correctors for underneath the eye area video coming up really soon as well. So once that's dried down and also my foundation's now dried down, I am going to take a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent powder, which is my favourite translucent powder. This never fails. And just look down, funny face. And I'm also going to take my powder brush, add a small amount of powder on my brush, and just powder the areas of my face that just need that extra bit of setting. Generally, when I'm powdering my face, I apply the powder to my brush, knock off all the excess, and I don't go back into the powder once I start applying it to my face, because there is enough powder on this brush for my entire face. Okay, so we're going to finish off the eye look, and I'm going to dip back into my NATASHA DENONA palette. I'm going to go for a really small brush. This is my Refa 03 brush, really pointy. I'm going to go straight into this gold shade that we laid down in the middle of the lid. And I'm going to do exactly the same as I did in the middle of that lid on the bottom. So just apply that in the center. So I'm going to take a small amount of the olive green shade and go on that outer edge just to connect the dots and blend it into the gold. And then with whatever I've got left on that brush, I'm just going to run it to the inner corner and again blend it into that gold. And then we're going to go into mascara. The mascara that I've chosen today is not a brand new one. It's one that I reach for all the time, and it's the Bad Gal Bang from Benefit. I really like this one because I like the shape of the wand because it's so super small. And I think that this is going to be really good for me at the moment because obviously my lashes are very curled, so it'd be really difficult to coat my lashes with a very bushy brush. Okay, so that is 2 coats on the top, 1 coat on the bottom. We're going to move on to the next product that I have made a conscious effort to stop banging on about on my channel because I mean, I think I might have mentioned it about 1,000 times within a very short space of time. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Palette in Ghost, and I just think it's absolutely amazing. As you can see, it's very well used. It's a little bit of a mess in there, but I absolutely love it. So I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to go into the bronzing shade first. I would be a little bit of a hypocrite if I didn't use this palette in this video because, I mean, it's just amazing. I'm going to go onto the high points of my forehead first with this shade. So beautiful. It's actually quite cool toned, which I really like. It's very difficult to find a bronzer that is cool toned, and I find this one works very well. Really like it. The Hourglass powders are so refined. It's very difficult to actually find a proper dupe for them because the dupe products are just nowhere near as refined. So a little chunkier in texture, and that's what makes the Hourglass powders so beautiful, because they are undetectable on the skin. Just give it that beautiful luminous sheen, very skin-like, very natural, just beautiful. And everything you need is in this palette. You've got some of the ambient lighting powders, you've also got 2 blushes, one of which is a strobe blush, and you've also got the bronzer as well. Does anybody else jump up and down when they apply their bronzers? Just me? Okay then. Okay, so we're in this palette. We are going to stick with this palette. I'm going to use my fingers. I'm actually going to take the palest shade and just dust that down the center of my nose just to add a little bit of definition there. I'm also going to put a tiny bit of that just above my eyebrows and just pat that in to add a bit of a natural sheen in that area where the sun does tend to hit. I'm going to apply a tiny little bit of this 3rd shade here, which is the strobe powder, iridescent strobe light, and just apply that to the tip of my nose and blend that in. And I'll apply a tiny bit right on the bridge, and again blend that in as well. And then I'm going to take again some of the strobe shade and just tap it on the high point of my cheek. And just blend that in. This does have a slight pinkiness of iridescent shine, which is very beautiful. Very beautiful. I do have a full video on how to get the most out of this and get the best out of it. I will link it up here for you so you can watch it a little bit later on if you are thinking of buying this palette, which is an investment, but for me, totally worth it. So why leave this palette? I'm going to dip into both of these shades here. One is more luminous than the other, and just pad that on the apple of my cheek and then start to blend that out. Not going to go too low because I want more of a lifted look today. Don't want anything dragging my cheek down. So pretty. It's girly, it's youthful, it's just really nice. My favourite lip products are usually by Charlotte Tilbury, and I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the Charlotte Tilbury products, as you are probably all aware if you watched the last Foundation Friday where I featured one of the Charlotte Tilbury foundations. I either absolutely adore a product or it just really doesn't suit me, and the Hollywood lips are just amazing. I love them, and they stay on. They're quite a creamy consistency, similar to the Smashbox Always On liquid lips, but these are slightly less drying than the Smashbox, and they have a great applicator that makes it so easy for you to actually sculpt out the lip and get a very accurate line without having to use a lip liner. This one that I'm going to be using today is in the shade Best Actress. So I like to outline my lip first. Really love this. Love the applicator. Love how smooth and easy it is to apply the liquid lip, and most importantly, I love the product. I think it stays really beautiful. The shade range is amazing. Another one of my favorites is Dolly Bird, which is a really beautiful pink. I also love the shade Platinum Blonde. I am going to put a bit of a topper on this. You can actually use this product on its own because it is divine. And I cannot stress that enough. Divine. Absolutely divine. This is another product from Hourglass. Absolutely beautiful. This is one of their Unreal glosses. And they're really long lasting. This is in the shade Sublime, and it seriously is gorgeous. I still haven't found a gloss that outperforms this one. It's just beautiful, seriously pigmented for a gloss and seriously long lasting as well. They are slightly plumping as well. This one has a minty flavour to it, which, although I say that I don't like flavours in lip glosses or lipsticks, this one is quite refreshing because it's not too sickly. Gorgeous, just, oh, really beautiful. I've really enjoyed playing around with all of my favourite products, creating this look and spending a little bit more time with the Wolf Pack, which is one of my favourite things to do. Do let me know what you think about the finished look in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit on that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.